Hi, and welcome to Inspiration Station here on entrepreneur.com. I'm Kirsten Kloss. Thanks very much for watching. On our show today, we're going to be speaking with Liran Hirschkorn. Now, he is the founder of bestlifequote.com, an independent life insurance agency. His mission is to make buying life insurance more accessible and less confusing through expert advice and technology. And today we'll be discussing common misconceptions about life insurance for entrepreneurs. So thank you very much for joining us today, Liran. It's great to have you on the show.
Great. Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So should entrepreneurs invest in whole life insurance?
You know, what I find is that a lot of life insurance agents are talking to entrepreneurs and high net worth individuals about whole life insurance. One of the big reasons is because whole life insurance produces the most premiums, which also in turn produces the most commissions for agents. But my advice for most entrepreneurs is that you don't really need whole life insurance. You'll find that a good percentage of people, I believe it's about 39%, actually cancel their whole life in the first 10 years. What that means is that all that cash value, all that extra money that you put in there is really gone because you don't even break even for about 10 or 11 years. So entrepreneurs are building up their assets, they're investing in businesses. Over time, you're going to build up a greater net worth. And so I think for most people, buying term insurance when you need it, it's cheap and cost effective. And you know, just having term insurance is probably the best way to go for most situations.
Liran, do entrepreneurs actually need life insurance?
That really, depends. You'll find that, not every entrepreneur actually needs to have life insurance. There's several situations which it would make sense, and there's other situations where you don't need it at all. So I would say, if you have somebody that's relying on you for income or support, if you have a family and kids, you definitely should have life insurance to replace future income that you would have produced if you were alive. If you have a business and you have key people in your business that you want to insure, or if you have business partners, you want to possibly insure yourself and each other so you can buy each other out. Should something happen to one of you, you can buy out each other's estate with the death benefit proceeds. Or if you might have an estate tax situation where you want your heirs to be able to have quick cash to pay off those estate taxes. But if you're a single entrepreneur and your 20s and nobody's really relying on you for support or income, I don't think you need it.
So if I'm understanding correctly, is life insurance only for family, or are there other times when you need coverage?
For most people that are working for a company, they really only need to think about their family. But entrepreneurs need to look at how life insurance can help them from a few different perspectives. So one, yes, for your family. But two, if you have a business, especially if you have partners, you want to have a buy-sell agreement, something that you would write up with your attorney, so that if your partner dies, you're not suddenly in business with his wife who wants to collect a paycheck, or his husband, her husband who wants to collect the paycheck. And maybe not contribute to the business. So what you want to do is you want to have an agreement in place that would say, if one of us dies, here's a formula for how we evaluate the value of the business, and we're going to buy each other out. And usually the funding mechanism for that is going to come from life insurance, because it might be difficult to come up with all that cash up front. And then you might want to consider life insurance if you have a key person in your business that's really running the business, and losing that person would be a great detriment to the business. You might want to have that person short. Sometimes it might be you, or for estate planning purposes. So there's really, for business owners, there's really multiple uses of how life insurance can be useful, depending on your specific situation. So you have to really think of it not just for family protection.
So Liran, let's now talk about the whole idea of spousal life insurance. How does that fit into the whole idea of insurance for business?
As an entrepreneur, you might be the breadwinner for your family, and you might think you don't really need to get life insurance for your spouse. But you may want to reconsider that. One, if you think about it, if your spouse is not working, let's say, that person still has an economic value that's could be valuable to your household. If they're taking care of children, if they're doing a lot of the household work like cooking, cleaning, well, if something happens to them, are you going to need any cash to replace that? And is that cash going to be helpful for you? So are you going to need to hire a nanny or send kids to daycare, or hire someone to cook and do the cleaning, or do housework. And the other thing, you may not want to work. Entrepreneurs work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. You may not want to work that much if suddenly your spouse or significant other has passed away, and now you have kids that are, really going through a, traumatic experience. You might want to take some time off. You might want to cut back your hours. So having life insurance on your spouse and having that insurgence of cash come in, that can give you options and for how you want to handle a situation, as opposed to being sort of stuck. And especially when term life is fairly cheap, getting a policy on a spouse might make a lot of sense.
If I'm self-insured, do I actually need life insurance?
If you have a significant amount of assets, you might not need any life insurance, right? Because if something happens to you, your family, your business, things will be taken care of because you have assets. What you have to consider is, what are those assets? Do I have a lot of liquid cash in the bank or in investments? That might be fine. Or are all my assets in things like real estate or my business, things that I don't want my family to have to liquidate to live? I want my kids to inherit my real estate and continue to run it. But if I suddenly owe estate taxes, or they need monthly income, that those assets are not producing, then you might want to have life insurance to be able to have a quick, cash distribution for your family upon your death, even though you have assets. So you really need to consider what are your assets invested in, and that can help you decide. And potentially, you could be self-insured and may not need any life insurance.
Liron, thanks very much for joining us on the show today. It's great to have you. But before we go, maybe you can explain to our audience how somebody can reach you if they want more information.
Sure. I appreciate being on the show, and thank you for having me. And I love to share this information. They can go on our website, bestlifequote.com. We have a very extensive blog and a search tool where you can search on literally hundreds of articles around various insurance topics. They can call 800-574-0245. We also have a live chat on the site, so they can chat with us, ask any questions without, giving in your information and being bombarded with calls like many other insurance websites. So thank you. We appreciate being here.
You got that right, and that's good to hear. You've been watching Inspiration Station here on Entrepreneur.com. Our guest today, once again, Liron Hirschkorn, and you can check out their website at bestlifequote.com. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Stay tuned again real soon. Bye for now.